Let me ask you something. 2026 is coming whether you feel ready or not. The calendar is going to change. The months will pass. The days will move forward. But the real question is not whether 2026 will arrive. The real question is who you will be when it gets here. Because a new year does not automatically create a new life. A new year only reveals the habits you built before it showed up. Where you are right now is not an accident. It is a reflection of the decisions you made, the standards you accepted, the distractions you tolerated, and the focus you maintained or failed to maintain. And if you do not change your focus now, 2026 will look a lot like 2025, just with different excuses. Most people get excited about a new year. They talk about goals, they post quotes, they announce plans. But winners don't just talk about change, they decide. They understand that success is not created by hype. It is created by habits. They know that every day you either build your future or you postpone it. And the dangerous thing about postponing your future is that it feels harmless in the moment. 1 hour scrolling, 1 day procrastinating, 1 week doubting yourself. But small distractions compound just like small disciplines do. The difference is that one builds your dream and the other builds your regret. The world is engineered to steal your attention. Notifications are fighting for your focus. Opinions are fighting for your confidence. Comparison is fighting for your peace. Every time you open your phone without intention, you risk stepping into somebody else's agenda instead of building your own. You start your morning looking at what everyone else is doing, and before you know it, you're measuring your progress against people who aren't even running your race. That is how focus gets fractured. That is how potential gets wasted. And that is how years disappear. Here's the truth. You can entertain yourself or you can educate yourself. You can scroll or you can study. You can complain or you can create. You can watch winners or you can become one. But you cannot do both at the same time. Focus is a decision. It is saying no to what feels good now so you can say yes to what matters later. It is choosing growth over gossip, discipline over distraction, purpose over popularity. And most people avoid focus because focus requires sacrifice. It requires you to miss out on some things so you can level up in others. Time does not negotiate. It does not slow down for your fear. It does not pause because you feel unprepared. It keeps moving. Every single day you are either investing time or spending it. And the scary part is that time invested multiplies, but time wasted disappears forever. When 2026 arrives, some people will look back and say, I wish I had started earlier. Others will look back and say, I'm glad I stayed consistent. The difference will not be intelligence. It will not be connections. It will not be luck. It will be focus. You don't need more motivation. You need more commitment. You don't need more inspiration. You need more discipline because motivation fades when things get hard, but commitment carries you when emotions disappear. If you want 2026 to be different, you must decide that your focus is no longer for sale, not for validation, not for entertainment, not for temporary comfort. You must protect your attention like it is your most valuable asset because it is. So make the decision now. Stop announcing and start executing. Stop explaining and start improving. Stop comparing and start building. Raise your standards quietly, work in silence, let your skills grow, let your value increase, and when 2026 shows up, don't let it find the same version of you with the same excuses and the same distractions. Let it find someone sharper, stronger, more disciplined, more focused. Because at the end of the day, the people who win are not the loudest. They are not the most visible. They are the most focused. They decided long before the results showed up that they would not let distractions steal their destiny. So decide today. When 2026 arrives, will you show up with regret or will you show up with results? The answer will be written by what you choose to focus on starting now. What you focus on expands. That is not motivation, that is a principle. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows, and whatever receives your energy begins to grow. If you constantly focus on problems, you will see more problems. If you focus on excuses, you will find more reasons to stay stuck. But if you focus on solutions, on growth, on skill development, on discipline, you begin to create momentum in that direction. Focus is not just about concentration, it is about direction. It is about deciding what deserves your mental real estate and what does not. Most people say they want success, but their focus is scattered. They want wealth, but they focus on entertainment. They want discipline, but they focus on comfort. They want growth, but they focus on other people's opinions. And the reality is simple. Divided focus produces delayed results. You cannot build a powerful future with a distracted mind. Every time you shift your attention to something that does not align with your goals, you dilute your progress. You slow down the very thing you claim you want. Energy flows where focus goes. If you give your attention to learning high-income skills, your value increases. If you give your attention to reading, studying, practicing, and improving, your confidence increases. If you give your attention to complaining, gossiping, and comparing, your insecurity increases. Focus feeds something. The question is, what are you feeding daily? Are you feeding your potential, or are you feeding your distractions? The world profits from your distraction. Every app, every platform, every headline is competing for one thing: your attention. Because attention is currency. And if you don't decide where it goes, someone else will decide for you. That is why focus is a form of discipline. It is the ability to say, this may be interesting, but it is not important. It is choosing long-term growth over short-term stimulation. It is understanding that every yes to distraction is a no to your destiny. Think about it. If you focused on mastering one valuable skill for the next 12 months instead of jumping from one trend to another, how different would your life look in 2026? If you committed to improving 1% every day instead of chasing quick results, how much stronger would you become? Consistent focus compounds. Just like money invested over time grows with interest, focused effort multiplies with consistency. Small, disciplined actions repeated daily create massive transformation over months. But focus requires elimination. You cannot say yes to everything. You cannot follow every opportunity. You cannot entertain every opinion. The more clarity you have about your goal, the easier it becomes to ignore what does not serve it. When you know exactly what you are building, distractions lose their power. They become background noise instead of obstacles. So if you want to win in 2026, train your focus now. Guard your mornings. Protect your schedule. Limit your exposure to things that drain your energy. Replace passive consumption with intentional creation. Instead of asking, what's trending? Ask, what's valuable? Instead of asking, what are they doing? Ask, what should I be building? Because the law is simple. What you focus on grows. If you focus on becoming sharper, you will become sharper. If you focus on becoming disciplined, you will become disciplined. If you focus on building value, opportunities will begin to notice you. But if you focus on distractions, distractions will become your reality. By 2026, something in your life will have grown significantly. The only question is whether it will be your success or your excuses. And that depends entirely on where you decide to place your focus starting today. One of the biggest mistakes people make is announcing what they're about to do instead of building what they're called to do. They talk about the business before it makes money. They post about the gym before they build discipline. They tell everyone about their goals before they've proven anything to themselves. And the dangerous part is this: when you announce your plans, you often get the emotional reward before you've done the work. People clap, people support, people say, I'm proud of you. And that small burst of validation tricks your brain into feeling accomplished without actually achieving anything. Real builders move differently. They understand that visibility without value is weakness. They don't need applause at the beginning. They're focused on results at the end. They don't feel pressure to explain their grind because they're too busy executing it. Silence becomes their strategy. While everyone else is talking about what they're going to do in 2026, they're already doing it. While others are debating ideas, they're developing skills. While others are seeking attention, they're building assets. There's power in moving quietly. When you stop announcing every move, you remove unnecessary pressure. You remove outside opinions. You remove the energy leaks that come from explaining yourself to people who don't understand your vision. Not everyone deserves access to your blueprint. Some people will doubt it, some will mock it, some will project their limitations onto your ambition, and if you're not careful, their small thinking will shrink your big vision. Building in silence protects your focus. It allows you to fail privately and improve quickly. It allows you to experiment without embarrassment. It allows you to grow without constantly defending your progress, because growth is messy in the beginning. Skills take time, results take patience, and if you're constantly seeking validation, you'll quit the moment progress feels slow. Let your results speak. Let your income speak. Let your discipline speak. Let your transformation speak. When you truly focus on yourself, you won't feel the need to broadcast every step. You'll be too busy becoming. And when 2026 arrives, instead of explaining why things didn't work out, you'll simply show the outcome. Success makes noise on its own. Until then, stay quiet, stay focused, and stay building. If you truly want to win in 2026, you must make one decision that most people avoid. Invest in yourself before you expect the world to invest in you. Your income will rarely exceed your level of skill, your mindset, and your self-discipline. Yet most people spend money on looking successful instead of becoming valuable. They upgrade their lifestyle before they upgrade their knowledge. They buy liabilities to impress people who are not paying their bills. And then they wonder why their results don't change. Your greatest asset is not your phone, your clothes, or your network. It is your mind. mind. The way you think determines the way you act. The way you act determines the results you produce. If you want different results in 2026, you need a stronger mindset in 2025. That means reading when others are relaxing, learning when others are scrolling, practicing when others are procrastinating. Skill development is not optional if you want to win, it is required. High-income skills create high-income opportunities. Communication, sales, marketing, leadership, problem solving. These are skills that pay in every economy. Instead of asking, how can I make quick money? Ask, how can I become more valuable? Because money follows value, opportunities follow value, respect follows value, and value is built through intentional investment in yourself. Investment is not only financial, it is also time and focus. You may not have a lot of money right now, but you have 24 hours. How you use them determines your trajectory. If you dedicate even one focused hour a day to mastering something that matters, that is over 300 hours in a year. That level of commitment separates amateurs from professionals. Consistency and self-investment compounds just like interest in a bank account. There will be moments when it feels slow, when you study and see no immediate reward, when you practice and feel average, when you improve but nobody notices. That is normal. Growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. But every page you read, every skill you practice, every disciplined decision you make is shaping the person you are becoming, and the person you become is what determines what you earn. If you want 2026 to look different, become different, sharpen your mind, strengthen your habits, increase your competence, stop spending to impress and start investing to improve, because when you become more valuable, the marketplace has no choice but to respond. And when that response comes, it won't be luck. It will be the return on the investment you made in yourself. If you want to win in 2026, you cannot carry everything and everyone with you. Growth requires separation. Elevation requires elimination. And one of the hardest but most powerful decisions you will ever make is choosing what and who you need to let go of. Because not every door that is open is meant for your future. Some doors lead to comfort. Some lead to distraction. Some lead to environments that feel familiar but keep you small. You cannot step into a new level while holding on to old habits. The same mindset that created your current results cannot create your next breakthrough. If procrastination has been your pattern, it must go. If late nights of mindless scrolling have become normal, they must go. If negative self-talk has become your inner voice, it must go. You cannot negotiate with habits that are destroying your potential. You must replace them. And sometimes it is not just habits, it is people. Not everyone in your circle is aligned with your growth. Some people are comfortable with average. Some people are committed to complaining. Some people will laugh at your ambition because it exposes their lack of it. That does not mean you hate them. It means you understand that proximity influences performance. If you constantly surround yourself with small thinking, your vision will shrink. If you stay around people who normalize excuses, you will start justifying your own. Closing the wrong doors is not about arrogance, it is about clarity. When you know what you want, it becomes easier to say no to what does not serve it. Every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Every boundary you set protects your focus. Every toxic pattern you break creates space for discipline, and space is necessary for growth. The comfort zone is another door you must close. Comfort feels safe, but it is expensive. It costs you progress. It costs you opportunity. It costs you the version of yourself that could have existed if you were willing to stretch. Growth feels uncomfortable because it demands more from you than you demanded before, but that discomfort is a sign of expansion, not danger. As 2026 approaches, ask yourself honestly, what in my life is holding me back? What habits are draining my energy? What environments are limiting my belief? What conversations are weakening my focus? Then have the courage to close those doors, not aggressively, not emotionally, but decisively. Because you cannot win while entertaining what is designed to weaken you. You cannot rise while clinging to what keeps you grounded in mediocrity. Sometimes the breakthrough you are praying for is waiting on the other side of a door you are afraid to close. So close it. Protect your peace, guard your focus, and create room for the life you say you want. If you truly want to win in 2026, you must master one principle that separates the average from the exceptional: delayed gratification. The ability to sacrifice today for a greater tomorrow is rare, and that is exactly why it is powerful. Most people choose what feels good now instead of what builds them later. They choose comfort over discipline, entertainment over education, quick pleasure over long-term progress. And every small choice seems harmless in the moment, but over time, those choices shape your entire future. Winning requires patience. It requires you to say no to immediate rewards so you can say yes to lasting success. It means turning off the show to read another chapter. It means waking up early when your bed feels more comfortable. It means saving and investing when others are spending to impress. It means practicing your craft when no one is watching and no one is applauding. Delayed gratification is the silent engine behind every major achievement. The problem is that we live in a world built on instant results, instant messages, instant entertainment, instant delivery. Everything is fast, and because everything is fast, we expect success to be fast too. But real growth does not work that way. Skills take time, discipline takes repetition, confidence takes experience, and wealth, whether financial, physical, or mental, is built slowly before it shows up suddenly. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen your character. You prove to yourself that you are in control, not your impulses. You build mental toughness. You develop self-respect. And self-respect is powerful because once you start honoring your commitments to yourself, your standards rise automatically. You begin to expect more from your actions because you know you are capable of more. Think about this. The version of you that wins in 2026 is not created in January 2026. That version is being built right now, in the small decisions nobody sees. It is built when you choose discipline over distraction. It is built when you stay consistent even without results. It is built when you resist shortcuts and focus on mastery. The celebration in 2026 will be the reward for the sacrifices you make today. Short-term pleasure creates long-term regret. Short-term sacrifice creates long-term freedom. You must decide which one you want because you cannot demand a championship lifestyle with a casual work ethic. You cannot expect extraordinary results from ordinary discipline. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with delayed gratification. So start training yourself now. Practice saying no to what weakens you. Practice saying yes to what strengthens you. Understand that every disciplined day is a deposit into your future. And when 2026 arrives, the success people see will not be luck. It will be the compound effect of the sacrifices you were willing to make when it wasn't easy. If you want to win in 2026, you must stop chasing success and start becoming the kind of person that success naturally seeks. Most people focus on the outcome instead of the identity required to achieve it. They chase money, recognition, or approval, but the real transformation happens when you shift your focus to who you are becoming. Habits create identity, identity creates character, and character attracts results. If you don't become the person capable of holding success, no amount of opportunity will change your life. Becoming that person means examining everything about yourself, your mindset, your daily routines, your environment, and even the way you speak to yourself. Winners speak like winners. They think like winners. They move like winners, even before the world recognizes it. They build consistency in private so they can celebrate in public. Every small action, every disciplined choice, every sacrifice compounds to form a new identity. And identity is stronger than motivation because it defines how you operate even when you don't feel inspired. Too many people expect success to give them confidence. That is backwards. Confidence comes from proving to yourself over and over that you are capable. You earn trust in your own abilities by consistently taking action, learning from failure, and refusing to quit when progress feels slow. That process builds a resilient version of you, a version that can handle bigger challenges and bigger rewards. Without that transformation, even if opportunity knocks, you will not be prepared to receive it. The journey to becoming the winner is not easy. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to embrace discomfort. You must practice patience, delay gratification, and protect your focus. You must surround yourself with people and environments that support the version of you you are striving to become. Because identity is contagious. The people you spend the most time with will either lift you or limit you. Choose wisely. By 2026, the person you are will determine the results you get. If you remain the same, your life will remain the same. But if you consistently invest in becoming stronger, smarter, and more disciplined, you will naturally attract opportunities, wealth, and recognition. Stop trying to force success. Instead, focus on building the person who can handle it, who deserves it, and who can multiply it. When you become that person, success will follow. Not because you chased it, but because you embodied it. 2026 is coming and it will not wait for anyone. This is your season, but only if you decide to claim it. Too many people approach a new year hoping for change without doing the work required to make it happen. They wish for opportunities, they pray for luck, but they fail to understand that results are not delivered. They are built. Every day you spend focused on yourself, sharpening your skills, improving your mindset, and strengthening your discipline is another day that prepares you to win when the time comes. You must commit to building in silence. Stop seeking validation. Stop Stop explaining your journey to those who do not understand it, and stop comparing yourself to others. Those things drain energy and distract you from what actually matters. The louder the world gets, the quieter you need to become. The greater the noise outside, the sharper your focus inside. This is how you turn potential into results. This is how you convert effort into achievement. When you work in silence, every small win compounds without interruption. You are free to experiment, fail, learn, and improve without pressure, and that is where true growth happens. 2026 will reward those who have prepared themselves quietly and consistently. It will not reward the loudest or the most visible. It will reward the disciplined. It will not reward those who talk about building, but those who actually build. By the time the year arrives, the results of your private efforts will speak louder than any words ever could. Your growth, your income, your influence, and your confidence will become undeniable, and people will notice only what you have already accomplished. So, as the year approaches, make a choice. Focus in silence, build in private, and protect your time and energy from distractions. The doors to success will open, but only to those who are ready to walk through them. Guard your focus, invest in your skills, eliminate what does not serve you, and commit to delayed gratification. Do these things consistently, and when 2026 arrives, you will not need to explain yourself. You will only need to show up and let your results speak for you. This is your year. This is your season. Win in silence, and the world will hear your victory.